Obviously, what did you see out of the his first performance that maybe gives you flashes like, hey, this guy could really help us here down the stretch?
You know, he put pressure on the rim. A couple he didn't finish and didn't catch, but you know, just the fact that he's going there not only opens some things up for him, but it also, you know, it collapses the defense somewhat and gives our wings a little bit more room to operate, a little bit more time to operate. So, you know, hopefully as he gets in better shape, we can play him a little longer spurts. But, you know, we need him to run the floor. We need him to attack the rim, and obviously defensively and rebounding, you know, he gives us a little bit more length than what we've had.
He says his biggest challenge would be conditioning at this point. Is that?
Yeah, you know, obviously he doesn't know everything because he sat out 6 weeks, and, you know, when you're playing to redshirt, you're not really held accountable to all the different little tweaks we put into our offense. So we're trying to, you know, expand that package a little bit more for Thursday than what he knew when we played Georgetown. But right now we have to keep it simple for him. You know, he's a freshman and you're throwing him to the fire in the Big East. You know, we've got to keep it as simple for him as we can.
What impressed you most about
Whew, I don't know that we have enough time. You know, offensively they are so efficient. You know, Butler scored 1.4 points per possession, so I think that's the recipe to beat him, if you can figure out how to do that. But you know, they're just you know, they've got 4 guys out there that can kind of score like Marcus Foster can score. You know, they can shoot the three, they're decent off the dribble, they can get to the free throw line, they'll post you a little bit. And, you know, they always really have 5 guys, the 5 starters all shoot the three-point shot. And then defensively, while I don't think Coach Wright has been happy, they're really talented defensively. They're really connected. They can switch a lot of screens. You know, while they don't have a great shot-blocking presence, they really put some pressure on you in the perimeter. So it's a really good basketball team. There's a reason they're ranked #1 in the country.
How do you counter sort of that, or maybe how you balance it? Because on one hand, you know you got to do a lot of things right to beat this team, and on the other hand, you don't want to put too much pressure on your guys. You want them to just kind of be relaxed and loose and play. How do you find that balance in the next coming days?
Well, I mean, we just got to go play. You know, a possession at a time, do what we do, and then look at the scoreboard after 40 minutes and see who won. I mean, that's how you have to play it. Obviously, as close to mistake-free as you can play is the recipe to beat Villanova. If you're going to make mistakes and give them easy ones, you know, you're going to get your wheels blown off. I mean, and that's happened to a lot of good teams. And usually because there's breakdowns defensively or turnovers that lead to runouts, offensive rebounds. I mean, when you give them those opportunities, that's when they, you know, take a game that's an 8 or 10 point game and make it a 25-point game.
How disruptive is Bridges defensively? Like, what is just the ability to versatility to guard 1 through 5?
Well, you know, he's in a lot of ways he's Kyrie at 6'8", you know, with you know 7-foot wingspan. So, you know, he plays hard, he competes, he pokes at the basketball, he moves his feet, so you can switch him really onto anybody. And you know, he was a guy a couple years ago we didn't really guard him on the perimeter because the jump shot just wasn't there, and now he's, you know, a 40% three-point shooter from that range. So, you know, he's worked hard, he's developed, and obviously I think going to have a long career in the NBA.
Do you buy into the whole measuring stick scenario? Like, this will tell you a little bit about you?
No. If everybody that played him this year subscribed to that theory, there'd be 21 teams that wouldn't be very happy with their basketball team. So, you know, it's a good team, and, you know, we're going to try to put as many good possessions together as we can in a row. Try to keep the crowd out of the game. I mean, that's important in our league when you go into tough places to play. But, you know, we're going to be who we are. You know, we're not going to change who we are because we're playing a really good basketball team. We'll go in there and move the ball around, see if we can get some good shots, and see if we can't run some stops together.
Defensively, how do you go about taking away enough of their stuff or making it difficult enough to give yourself a chance? They have a lot of guys that, you know, people in the right position all the time, they can still score over you. So, I mean,
in some ways you have to pick your poison. You know, teams that have gotten so stretched out on them trying to take away the three-point shot, you're giving up layups and you're ending up putting them on the free throw line a bunch. And then there have been teams that really have tried to crowd the inside and maybe be late on some closeouts, and they've given up a bunch of threes. So, you know, they're the most efficient offensive team in the country for a reason. You know, Jalen Brunson's one. You know, I think he's a better Fred VanVleet, and, you know, Fred has really carved out a pretty good role in the NBA, and I think Jalen's gonna follow suit. He's just a winner, and he puts his team in the right spots. He scores when he needs to score. He distributes when he needs to distribute, and that's kind of where it all starts with them.
Hey, What part of Marcus's game maybe has taken the biggest step from last year to this? I mean, he was named the Big East Player of the Week this week. That's why I'm asking.
You know, I think his decision making, and I think that's probably the reason why I'm starting to get a few more calls from NBA teams. And I think it's, you know, his assist to turnovers better, his shooting percentages are better across the board, and that's a direct result of his decisions. You know, he's eliminated those 2 or 3 really horrific shots per game, and that's had a positive impact on our team and his statistics. And, you know, besides that, he's a more mature defensive player. He's in the right spot. He's talking. He's encouraging his teammates. So, you know, Marcus has improved really in every facet of the game, and you don't sometimes see a jump like that this late in someone's career. So, you know, obviously I'm extremely proud of him.
He got to the foul line a little bit in the last game, and so did Taz. Can that be part of, you know, your formula going forward?
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes it's tough to control what they're going to call. But.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, that was a game where both teams kind of went to the foul line, and you know, we played in games where there's 4 free throw shot the entire first half. So, kind of just depends on how the game's going to be called, and you know, sometimes the first 3 or 4 minutes kind of dictate that. So you know, we don't want to play in a game with a lot of fouls, right, because that stops our pace, that breaks up the momentum of the game, and we don't want to have that to happen. And for us defensively, we have to be a team that doesn't foul and keeps them off the free throw line.
Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Boy, I'd like it to be the Eagles, but us Steeler fans aren't real fond of the Patriots. Still was a touchdown. That was an awful call, and I'm not going to let it go. It's a bad rule. It needs to be changed.
Yes, right.
But you know, Tom Brady with the ball in his hands, I would never bet against him.
Do you remember what you fed the guys the last time you played in that arena?
I don't. If we make 9 threes in a row to start, I like our chances.
That's the biggest challenge for you, do you think, is trying to get up to speed conditioning-wise because you missed so much time because of the setbacks earlier?
Yeah, that'll be tough trying to get back into that. But, you know, trying to get some extra conditioning in after practice and everything like that, we should be good.
How tough was it to make that decision to take the red shirt off, knowing that there's so little of the season left?
Well, when I went up to talk to Coach Mack, he said even with your injury, you would have missed 6-7 games, and with Teeny being out, and then Toby, you know, struggling to get up and down to practice with his ankles and stuff, I figured, why not? If everything goes correct, you know, goes right, we might have 15 games left. So I figured, why not? I don't mind playing basketball. So,
what ideally do you hope to bring this team down the stretch?
Hopefully some pressure on the rim, you know, allow people on the perimeter to get open shots and stuff like that. But yeah, pressure on the rim, rebounding, you know, yeah.
What's going to be the key against Villanova?
Just about everything, you know. Hopefully everything goes right there. Shots are dropping, and if I'm rim running, you know, everything like that, it should be good.
Jacob, what does it mean to play the #1 team in college basketball?
Should be good. You know, not everyone gets this experience, so it should be a good one. You know, being my second game my career too, so it'll be good.
What do you think of Villanova?
They're a good team. They do everything to the book. You know, they make rarely any mistakes. Great coaching.
Hey, where were you when they won the national title? Do you remember that?
I think I was back in Australia.
Yeah, do you remember watching that game?
Can't really remember, but I do, because my dad was a Kentucky guy. So
oh, really?
Yeah, if Kentucky was there, I'd be watching that. But other teams, as soon as Kentucky was out, I was like, I'm done.
It's kind of weird, though, that now you're wild that you're going to be playing against Villanova.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't that kind of, you have to pinch yourself? Like, geez, this is go time.
Yeah, I know. It's just try to prepare myself as best I can for it, you know, scout them as best we can. Yeah.
Perfect.
Talk about this journey a year ago. You were in high school. You know, your team was ranked #1, and now you're playing #1 in college basketball. That's been a quick turnaround, hasn't it?
Yeah, funny how that works. I went from absolutely nothing, and then come over here, get picked up for a high school team, and now I'm playing top level basketball in one of the better colleges, and now I get to play the #1. So it's a great opportunity, a great chance.
2 more.
That's it for me. Thank you.